On the 17th of April, Irish boxing promoter and crime boss Daniel Kinahan was arrested in Dubai. Since 2016, he had been living out in the open and ran his crime empire from the city, a location widely seen as a safe haven for senior criminals and cartel leaders. But who is Daniel Kinahan? The Kinahan cartel began as Daniel's father, Christy, developed the business from low-level crime on Dublin streets in the 90s to a major international drug empire. Decades later, with his son Daniel overseeing drug trafficking and his brother Christy Jr. handling money laundering, the organisation established itself as a super cartel worth an estimated €1 billion. In 2015, a turf war with a rival Dublin gang ignited in Spain's Costa del Sol. Gary Hutch became the first victim of the Hutch-Kinahan feud. A year later, they retaliated. Gang members disguised as police attempted to assassinate Daniel Kinahan at the Regency Hotel. Violence erupted, and the conflict left 18 dead by 2018. The Kinahans knew they were on the radar of European law enforcement and found shelter in Dubai, but the move was about strategy as well as safety. An informal method of transferring money without moving physical cash, called the Hawala system, operates legally in the UAE. It is a cheap and fast way to send money abroad. It is also untraceable, making it attractive to criminals. In Dubai, the Kinahans were also closer to suspected allies Hezbollah and the IRGC, who also utilised the Hawala system. The move to the UAE brought the cartel closer to their networks both geographically and financially. In Dubai, Daniel Kinahan set about establishing himself as a legitimate businessman. He had stepped down from his Marbella-based boxing company MGM in 2016, but he never cut ties. His friend took over the newly named MTK, and Daniel was never far from the action. That became clear when Tyson Fury announced him as his fixer.
I'm just after getting off the phone with Daniel Kinahan. He's just informed me that the biggest fight in British boxing history has just been agreed. Get up there, my boy!
MTK Global set up headquarters in Dubai, and the rebrand of both company and boss hit the ground running. This front never fooled Irish criminal investigators. If anything, it put Daniel more firmly in the spotlight. And in 2022, when the US put a $5 million bounty on the heads of Kinahan gang leaders, the countdown for Daniel's arrest began. To rid its reputation as a criminal safe haven, the UAE began to engage in diplomatic efforts with Ireland, which in 2024 culminated in bilateral treaties on extradition and mutual legal assistance. The treaty came into force in May 2025, and Sean McGovern became the first Kinahan figure arrested in Dubai. When McGovern pled guilty this March in Ireland, it set a strong precedent. The system used to bring him back and charge him could now be used against Daniel Kinahan. The urgency of Daniel's arrest was propelled when Bellingcat and the Sunday Times exposed images of him enjoying an MMA match, highlighting Dubai's reputation as a playground for criminals. The war in Iran and the IRGC's attacks on the UAE have further incentivised a crackdown on the illegal uses of the Hawala system and those that use it to fund illicit Iranian money networks. After months of reviewing Daniel's file, the Irish Director of Public Prosecutions submitted it to the High Court, who issued a warrant for his arrest. Within 48 hours, Daniel Kinahan was arrested in Dubai. Years of evidence gathering and diplomacy had finally paid off. He now faces extradition to Ireland, though he can appeal through the UAE's courts. It's unclear if he would be convicted or how it would affect the cartel. The arrest signals a shift in the UAE's tolerance towards major criminals using the city as a base of operations.